And we are back. So, last we left off, the Fellowship had found themselves deep under the ground in the borough of Clan Fleabiter after successfully escaping from the destruction that they caused and the collapse of the clan itself. They managed to secure a safe passage out under the direction of the remaining Dowie of Carrick Norn. As well, they came across the almost nearly assassinated body of one Three Fingers at the hands of, some foul Skaven. Who knows who that could be? The party decided to take Three Fingers to the Sisters of Shalia for treatment so that they could save her life. She informed them that Mr. Gold was the root cause of everything that has happened thus far. Mr. Jaeger, the witch hunter, was also accompanying the three of you as you were making your way to the sisters. Some revelations were had as it was found that the city had undergone a massive earthquake of some kind that had weakened many structures and injured a lot of the citizens here in Sealburg. However, Thordum, little Priscilla, and Lady Sarah were all fine, Marius's loved ones. And Seamus, having carried Three Fingers into the Temple of Shalia, successfully, in time, managed to get her treatment and will be stabilized. Bragadine stayed behind to get some treatment as well, and probably watch over Three Fingers in the meantime. Marius and Seamus, however, upon running into each other once again, as the witch hunter Jaeger really wants to have a chat about his long-dead brother. You heard a familiar shrill voice of Mr. Gold and followed it to Governor Freeze's mansion, where you plied your way through several layers of security and secured the room. Mr. Gold and Governor Freeze were having a glass of wine. You assaulted Mr. Gold, accused him of heresy. And the witch hunter Jaeger backed you up on this. However, as Jaeger offered to burn this creature alive, Freeze offered a trial. Marius, undecided, eventually let go of Mr. Gold, dropping him to the floor, the halfling scrambling his way into a corner, almost breathing a sigh of relief as Seamus McCready walked up to him, drew a pistol, pointed it square between the eyes, and pulled the trigger. And just as that boom resonated, a hole opens up in the center of Goldgrabber's forehead, his head launching back into the wooden corner. Gore and brain matter exploding out the back, plastering Governor Freeze's office. And as the halfling slumps to the ground, dead, you hear bashing at the door behind you and shock from Governor Freeze himself. Jaeger turns. Well, hope you guys have a plan for the ogres. And within a second, the door that was both locked and blocked with a chair is splintered into kindling as a massive fist pummels it to the ground along with some of the wall with it. And there stands Oro, looking down. And he looks over and sees the smoking gun in Seamus McCready's hand and his dead patron. And I need everyone to roll me initiative. including Bragadine. As at this point, Bragadine, I will say that you have been healed, and you will be coming in off the street at the loud commotion. If you're okay with that. I don't want to take agency from you. Okay. So, initiative, please.
Bragadine got 8.
8 for Bragadine. Marius?
Marius rolled 14.
14. And Seamus?
10.
Okay, Marius, Seamus, Bragadine. Okay, here is what happens. Marius, you are first up in this moment as you see the look of shock in Oro's eyes, and then he glances between you, Seamus, Jaeger, and the dead squat form of Mr. Gold, and you see rage welling up beneath the surface of his very dim, glazed eyes. What are you going to do?
Marius is going to grip his pick, run at him, try to hit him.
Okay. This is a small space, but he's essentially halfway in the office and halfway out and there's a banister here that leads down to the second floor. It's like, it's open behind him.
Yeah.
Do you want to, are you going to try to push him off the side, or are you making like a full attack?
That's a good idea. You know, I'm so tempted to try. Yeah, I'm going to try.
Okay. He is an ogre.
Try.
I'm just going to throw that out there. He's huge.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
So is Marius.
This is my pride, my vanity.
Okay, go ahead and give me a strength check.
All right.
Stronger than an ogre, you know?
I hope so.
Fat as an orc.
Fat as an orc. That's a 13 out of 70.
Okay. I did not beat you by 1. As you smack in to Oro, and you hit him with such force that he and then he stumbles backwards, breaking through the banister almost like it was nothing, like a toothpick snaps behind the amount of weight he has behind him as he tumbles down to the first floor. Boom! Smacks to the ground. It doesn't look like it would do significant damage, but he is stunned. Collapses some of the stairs in the process. And he's laying on his back at the bottom of the banister.
All right.
Would you like to do anything else, Marius?
Marius is going to try to take up a defense position, so that Seamus and Jaeger might be able to take some shots. He's going to try to keep the other ogres at bay if they're coming up the stairs or something.
Yeah. You do see 2 of the ogres have actually made it up the stairs and are converging in your direction. Seamus, it is your turn. Yeah.
I'll pull out Ketch's pistol.
Okay.
And shoot the first ogre coming up the stairs.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a attack roll.
That is going to be a 9 out of 76.
Damn! Okay, how much damage is that?
Let's see.
Where are you shooting him, bro?
That is 7. That is going to be 16 damage to his face.
Yes, a 9 is a headshot, no matter what. So that's
sweet.
Good. But let me make sure I've got my statistics here. I want to make sure I've got the right ones. There we go. Okay. So how much damage is that total?
Oh, it's Ketch's pistol. So I think it was 16. So it should be 19 with Ketch's pistol.
19. Okay. So the tough hide of their skin counts as 1 armor, but as we all know, a pistol has armor piercing, so it bypasses that. So that's just 16 straight damage, which is significant. and would probably kill a normal man. However, it does not kill an ogre in one hit, by far. It does do damage. He is hurt, but he is still standing. As he takes a shot in the throat, you see it pulse out and begin to quickly bleed. But the thing just screams out. You do see that it has... All of the ogres have a large plate over their stomach. They refer to as a gut plate, and it's just thick steel. But other than that, the rest of their body is covered with just simple clothing or not clothed at all. So if you hit anywhere else except for the center mass, you're probably going to be doing maximum damage. So yes, that's one shot. Would you like to do anything else, Seamus?
I'll use my free action to reload Catch's pistol.
Okay. It is black powder, so you have to use an action to reload.
Oh, an action? Okay. Then, yeah, I didn't pull out a second gun, so that will end my turn.
Okay, all right. As you step back into the office, that brings me to the remaining ogres. So the one that Seamus just shot in the head or shot in the neck is going to charge you, Marius. I need you to make me a dodge roll. Or, I mean, you could block, if you'd like, at a minus 20.
Minus 20. Let me see here. I will dodge. Do I get a momentum for pushing down Oro?
Yes, you do. You get 1 momentum.
Okay. 42 out of 72. So 3 levels success.
Okay. And he has like what looks like to him it looks like just like a club. To you, it looks like it's about 4 feet tall. As he swings it over his head and it bashes in a part of the roof. And as it comes down, you easily slip to the side as it smashes into to the floor where you were previously standing. The floor is beginning to buckle underneath from the impact. You get the idea that these creatures are extremely strong and are going to bash this house down around you if they are not dealt with quickly. But that is the end of his turn. However, the next one is going to come up, and let's see what he can do. Oh yeah. He slams through the nearest wall, making a new entrance into Governor Freeze's office, and is going to try to squish Seamus. So, Seamus, I need you to give me a dodge roll.
All right. That is going to be a 32 out of 52.
God damn it! You managed to also tuck and roll out of the way as another club boom into the ground, and like I explained earlier, the floor begins to crack and indent where this club smashes in. And that is his turn. But then we go outside, where Bragadine Bonneau, having heard all this commotion and a gunshot, is coming to investigate. And you see a ogre that is stuck halfway in, halfway out of Governor Freeze's mansion, in the door. It's kind of pulling itself in and out, and then it kind of stumbles backwards, taking the actual frame of the door that's still kind of draped over him with him. Some of the masonry falls off the front of the entrance, and he's kind of shaking, and looks like he's going to attempt to charge back in. But it is now your turn, Bragadine.
Is he between me and the house?
Yes, he is.
How far?
Doesn't seem to notice you. You are within reach, if you so choose.
To run around him into the house?
Oh, you want to try to get past him into the house. You want to just duck in between him?
Okay, let me ask this. I'm picturing like a cartoon ogre with like a big door frame stuck around him. Are his arms free?
Yes, his arms are free.
Damn it. Alright. Can I hear any? Can I tell anything else what's going on besides I heard that loud?
You hear commotion and stuff happening inside. You're not exactly sure what's going on, but obviously something bad is happening.
All right. You know what? Let's just do it. I'm gonna try and see if I can get the jump on him and attack this ogre from the back.
Okay, you're just gonna attack him.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
We're gonna use a fortune point. Oh! Guess what I rolled? I rolled a 1.
Ooh, damn.
Okay.
Yep. That's well worth that fortune point. Oh my goodness. All right, so 1 under 57. The 5 level success with a 1.
All right. Let's see here. Roll me a D100 real quick.
Okay. 69.
69.
Ooh, super crit.
It's not a super crit.
Super crit.
God bless.
It's a good thing Raggedy took that time out to rest, bro.
It's a body shot, so what's actually going to happen, Bragadine, is you're going to carve into his back. However, he's going to shed a piece of his gut plate. And it isn't going to do a full critical wound, but it is going to do damage. So how much damage is that total?
Okay, so 9 and 14. I believe that's 14.
14?
Yeah.
All right. It's 14. Takes it down to that. So you do slice into his back, and it gets caught somewhat on some of the kind of straps and steel rivets that align this gut plate on the back end. And the ogre screams out and then looks back. Why you do that? And he's going to try to crush you now, Bragadine. So I need you to make me a defensive roll. If you block with your shield, it's minus 20.
Okay.
If you dodge, there's no penalty.
All right. What's about the same anyway? Let's try to dodge out of the way. Oh! We rolled 18. So that's 18 under 30... 18 under 28, so 1 level of success.
1 level of success, Bragadine.
I hope you didn't roll that great.
The ogre turns around, and I forgot to mention that you recovered your toughness bonus and wounds.
Oh, 2 levels of success with my moment.
2 levels of success. Okay.
Yeah.
As you begin to try to dodge away, Bragadine, the ogre swings down and connects with the side of your head with its large club for 20 damage.
Good God.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
That's fine. Bragadine is unconscious in the street.
Okay. It takes you to 0.
No.
We just ran around him.
Let me roll my D100 here. Let's see how bad this is.
All that time with the sisters.
Yep.
This
Let's
is
see
like, what
here.
the hell? You know, when he comes back. It's just, Jesus.
That's why they have the Bragadine room.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
he's
is a concussive blow. Okay, it's bad.
Oh no.
Oof.
I already lost my ear last
Yep,
week.
your brain rattles in your skull, and blood spurts from your nose and your ear hole. As you are racked with so much. You also take 2 bleeding conditions, so you immediately go unconscious, and you are launched into the street, a heap of a man.
Oh God, no.
unfortunately. So there is
All right.
there's Bracadine.
Now, fuck the lady. She that bitch don't do nothing.
See, I didn't praise her the last time I got that good hit.
Forsaken
That's why it happened, bro. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't thank her properly, man.
Sorry about that.
It's cool.
Yep. Sorry.
ran
Unfortunately,
around.
that happens. So then that brings us to
Talking about for you guys.
that brings us to Jaeger, who's going to draw his pistol. Oh Lord. Let's see here. Yeah, and with a critical hit, he puts a round through the wounded ogre's eye, killing him instantly in front of Marius Wolf. Boom! The shot rings out, and the ogre falls to its knees and collapses at your feet, Marius. Dead. And that's pretty much all he can do. So he holsters his smoking sidearm and looks over at Seamus. Well, guess it's time to get our hands dirty, as he draws his warpstone knife.
Oh.
And yeah, that's all he can do right now. So that brings us to Marius Wolf. It's your turn. There's still an ogre standing. That tried to crush Seamus.
I'll probably go to that one. I think he's probably the closest threat.
Yes.
And, I'll try to hit him with the pick.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Uh, 7 out of 90.
Oh my god. How much damage is that, Marius?
That is 21 plus armor piercing.
Of course it is. Unfortunately, this one isn't wounded yet. So that doesn't kill him in one hit, but it does significant damage. As you cleave in to his, you kind of drag the pick across his face, opening up a wide gash in his muscled flesh. As he kind of falls backwards, holding the massive gash across his cheek. Would you like to do anything else, Marius?
Marius just kind of shouts out, "He's not worth it! Run!" And just quick question: what's
Yes.
Governor Freeze doing in all this?
Governor Freeze is in shock. He is in complete shock behind his desk. As a matter of fact, he's standing up against the wall at this point. Yeah. So that brings us to Seamus McCready. It's your turn.
The ogre looks pretty beat up from there.
He looks pretty. Yeah, he looks pretty bad.
And he's like in my personal space.
He is in your personal space.
All right. Well, in that case, in an attempt to regain some health, I'm going to pull the sword and take a strike at him with the sword.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty decent.
He will attempt to block.
He might be able to block it. It's going to be a 35 out of 2 success levels. It'll be a 35 out of 85.
Oh no, that hits. How much damage is that?
13.
Okay, and this is 35 is his right arm, so you miss the gut plate, which is good, because otherwise you barely would have done anything. As you slide across the arm, you do feel that tingling sensation as you regain a wound with your blackened katana blade. And he once again clutches at his arm and looks somewhat horrified as you siphoned a piece of his soul away. And he begins to kind of back up away from what is currently happening. It is that all you're going to do, Seamus?
Yeah, since it takes an action, that's all I'm going to do.
Okay. That brings us to the ogre's turn, who is going to throw his club down. It's not worth it. And then he begins running down the stairs, unless you guys want to try to kill him.
No, Seamus will let him run.
Okay, Marius, I'm assuming you're letting him go?
Yeah, I'm going to let him go.
Okay, and as you see him begin to run away, you see him step onto Oro, who is unconscious at the bottom of the stairs. He like steps on him, and he like grunts, so he's still alive. He's just unconscious. And as he runs into the street, he knocks into the ogre that was trying to get his way in, knocks him on his ass. The doorframe splits onto the cobbled street, and he kind of falls flat. Seeing his fellow ogre running in a panic, he will also get up and begin to move in that direction. Marius, if you are following their retreat with your gaze, you would see, as the two ogres left, you would see a crumpled and broken Bragadine Bonneau in the middle of the street, bleeding profusely from his ears and his nose.
A little puddle around my head, I'm sure.
Yes, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Oro still down there, right?
Yeah, and Oro is unconscious.
Oh, another dilemma, you know. Marius will hop down, yell up to Seamus and Jaeger, "I'll let you decide what to do with this one," and go try to tend to Bragadine.
Okay. At this point, we're out of combat because you slaughtered that encounter pretty badly. So go ahead and give me a heal check real quick before Bragadine bleeds out.
That's going to be a 14 out of 37.
Okay. So yes, you managed to staunch his wounds. Bragadine, I'll give you 1 wound as you come back. You're no longer bleeding. As Marius applies some bandages and some various other medical knowledge that he's acquired over the years, patching.
Resets my skull back in place.
Yeah, kind of puts like a warm rag across the side of your head, just kind of compress it together, and you come to after what horrible thing just happened to you. Yeah, so that happens.
Ah, Julius, it's good to see you again. As I pick him up, can't keep falling down like that, Julius.
Bragadine turns around, confused.
I'm assuming I have him in my arms, you know, father, officer and gentleman style.
Of course.
Oh, even better. I'm sorry, Marius. I took a hit to the head. I almost slew that ogre, and as he was falling to his death, his club must have hit my head by accident. I don't know
Julius,
what it would be.
You're a true son of Wissenland. That's.
Go ahead and give me a charm roll, Marius. Give me a charm roll. We're gonna have Bragadine give me a cool roll.
All right.
Ooh, no, 14 out of 53.
Oh
I had to
shit!
choose Julius.
If he finds you attractive, you know.
I mean, I'm sure Bragadine. You find.
All right.
He is
attractive?
Bretonian.
Oh, I rolled a 13
You know, a bunch of
out
horse over there.
of 60.
Oh, beat me.
Damn it!
I was trying to convince him that he was,
his name was Julius.
He's not Bretonian. His name is
I know.
Julius Heinrich from Wissenland.
You're
from Wissenland.
Julius Heinrich.
real close.
It was close. You do realize this deceit, Bragadine, at the last moment. You're like, and you almost catch on for a second, and then funny joke.
No.
Marius smirks. You know, one of these days, you're gonna be a true Empire citizen. And
What? My head hurts, Marius. What is going on?
bad things.
What did you,
I set him down, kind of against the governor's mansion's outdoor, propping him up so he can kind of rest. And
Oh, Three Fingers. She will be okay. She needs much rest, but she will be okay.
it's good to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what happens.
Is
Happening
this
inside
not my
before-
grandfather's house?
No, Braggadine. This is the governor's house. Mr. Gould was in there.
So
We
upstairs.
put it into him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently
Oh, you,
upstairs.
Okay.
Marius, or I mean, excuse me, Seamus. You and Krieger, or excuse me, you and Jaeger. I keep saying Krieger, damn it. You and Jaeger are upstairs in the governor's destroyed room that used to be his office. The governor is just in shock right now. I see, you killed him. What have you done?
Seamus walks over, slowly, intimidating. I did kill him, and I'll pick up the wine bottle and then a cup. I assume there's a cup of wine on the table.
Oh, there's glasses.
If it's empty, I'll pour it, and then I will turn around and give the cup to Jaeger. And I'll take the bottle and walk out of the room.
Erwin takes the glass and kind of gives a little wink and a salute to the governor before downing it whole, then tosses it, shatters, and onto the floor. Oh, I'll be talking to you later, Governor. We've got words. As he turns on his heel and begins following you, Seamus.
When I make my way downstairs, I'll see Braggadine looks fucked up.
Yeah, you would have to step over the unconscious Oro to do so.
That's fine.
Because the last couple stairs are smashed where his body landed. So you kind of walk over the top of him.
I'll drop the bottle down on Braggadine's lap. And then I guess just wait for Marius to get up.
What's
All right.
Jaeger doing?
I will
what's the
happily
process,
take that bottle of
Oro?
wine and take a long Bretonian swig.
Oh, and you do, Braggadine. As Jaeger equally kind of just very unceremoniously walks across the gut of Oro, one of his boots kind of connecting with the ogre's face, kind of smushing it inwards as he walks across. So, how about that talk? And for the sake of brevity, I'm assuming we're going to have the discussion.
The talk.
Yeah.
The talk of what happened to his brother in all its glory. We'll say that it goes over relatively well. He nods at a few moments, and once you finish your story, he looks to the two of you. Well, it sounds like a pile of horse shit to me, but he always was a bit of a fool. I'm going to be hanging around town for a little while. Don't go anywhere. There's a lot going on in this godforsaken speck of the Empire, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And he walks off down the street. Who knows what he's going to be doing? But I am curious to know what the three of you are going to be doing. What is your next step?
Marius, do we need to find a Julius?
No, Braggadine. I slap him on his shoulder.
Ooh.
Seamus wants to
I
eat
jest.
and drink
I'm assuming
and sleep.
try to heal up and convalesce as much as we can.
Okay.
I would like to lay down myself and see if Theodore made it home and got the house clean yet.
That's true. Very good point. We got to make sure that the children make it home and the rest of the miners and such.
I will say this. You can gather that the miners, the missing miners, and all of the people that you released from Clan Fleabiter did in fact make it back to Sealberg,
Oh, sweet.
including young Theodore.
Yeah.
Good. Now you can get beaten.
Yep, that place ain't spotless.
Welcome home.
We'll clean this house.
Yeah.
Still smells of rat people in here.
It does actually. It's pretty bad. Once you enter the house for the first time, it's pretty horrible. There's also the whole sewer that's right underneath your bed. You know, the stew, as it was, the nice smell out of the huge hole. So probably get that covered up. But
Yeah.
in the
That's
meantime,
it,
though, is anybody going to go check in on Three Fingers?
Yes, I would probably directly head to, first would we go back to the Sisters of Charlie and, after the fight, and probably check on her and see if there's any aid that we can help with the wounded and stuff,
As the
Bragging might actually try and go get them aid again, too.
Yeah, of course. He stumbles back in, kind of holding the side of his head.
Exactly.
Sister,
20 minutes. What happened?
the matriarch just shakes her head as Bragadine stumbles through the front gate, just kind of, and then walks back inside. But the three of you moved there, and Three Fingers is there for now. She is unconscious and being cared for. The sisters inform you that she will have to stay the night, and she should make a full recovery within a few weeks or months' time.
Can I get them to look at my ear?
Oh, yes. Yes. I will say, for the sake of brevity, the rest of you you get looked at, and if you have any serious injuries, they will be dealt with to the point that they will no longer be life-threatening, and all of you can recover your toughness bonus and wounds.
Deja vu.
For now.
So this is just a quick heal.
This would be over the course of it would take a little while, but this is what we're doing for now to keep the story moving. We still got a lot to get through, boys. A lot.
I know. Marius wants to get his ear looked at some point,
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and we can do that at a later time.
Okay. I think our top priorities, at least Marius' top priorities, is finding out, what Three Fingers knows.
Mm-hmm. She is currently indisposed and will be for the next day at least, if not longer.
Then I guess the discussion between the party about if we should head up to the mountain and see if we're not too late to catch up with the other party.
Yep.
Rival party.
Did you not say you had to deal with my employer, Mr. Goldfirst?
Marius just kind of looks at Seamus.
I thought
He's
we
never
Dealt
happy.
with.
I mean, I told you, Marius, I will happily turn my back on him to show you my loyalty.
You do not have to make that decision anymore. Seamus made it for both of us.
Oh,
Thank you, Seamus. And I just kind of nod at Seamus. I thought I could.
I assume you killed him.
I thought I could do it. I wanted to, but when the time came, I couldn't. I couldn't end his life.
What, were you
Thank you, my friend.
too far away? Is Seamus closer, or either way? Good job, Seamus.
Well, do you want to go back up this mountain?
I think we need to move as quickly as we can.
Yes. Let's. I'm sure we can still catch up with the group too. Let us move.
Do we know where Jaeger went?
You would not you would have lost track of him at some point. He is let's just call him a shifty individual. At some point, you would have lost track as he walked down the street. He just blended in to the chaos.
Well, I guess we, once we've healed up, we let some of the locals know. They see him to tell them where we are. We're up in the mountains trying to find coal.
Okay, that's fair.
But, I mean, I'm assuming we probably try to head out.
Yeah, let me roll this for you real quick. Okay. Before you guys head out, you can all additionally give yourself another 8 wounds. As the attention you've been getting from the sisters is beginning to show that they have lots of experience triaging and going through people's injuries, probably due to a lot to your activities over the past few years.
Well, Bragadine does have his own room. So.
It is true. He has his own special room. So the 3 of you begin heading up the mountain. And you know that this path takes at least a few hours to get all the way up there to the hidden chamber of the Old Ones. You make it up there, and the door is ajar. The normally hidden door in the side of the mountain's face is open, wide open. There are tracks, looks like, where large numbers of people have come through here recently. The 3 of you step inside. Do you light your candle, Marius? Because it is very dark.
Yeah, light the candle.
Okay. You begin moving forward. The hidden entrance to the side chamber that was usually covered with a rat flesh tarp has been torn down, and the entrance is very much visible. You walk down the chiseled corridor and make it to the circular chamber of the Old Ones. As you step in, it is completely empty. Quiet as a church mouse, no pun intended. What are you guys going to do?
Damn. Too late. Do we notice any kind of recent activity besides like the tarp being ripped down, I guess? And...
You would see, because there's the doorway that looks flat against the stone that you guys have stepped through more than once. You would see the pedestal in the center of the room that has the glyphs on it. Though you don't have the book in your possession, Marius, as you look at the pedestal, you would notice that 3 of the runes, you've noticed that each time you've stepped through this door, 3 runes have lit up and then burnt out afterwards. You would notice that 3 of them are no longer present. There's only 3 left on this pedestal. So it looks like there's only one more trip that this gate can make. Looks like someone used it recently, as the runes are still somewhat glowing.
DM question.
Yes.
Do you? This is a metagaming pretty hard. Do you want us to try to press these runes and go on the next adventure?
Sure, you can try. You can try.
Okay.
As you, I will say this, as Marius kind of fumbles with it, because there's only 3 left. As you begin to touch them, nothing happens. They don't light up.
Book?
Nothing. Yeah, it doesn't do anything like it did before.
Perhaps Mother Inga could be of service.
That's a long ways away, Marius.
And I will say it's getting like late to the point where we're going to have to start making checks to see if we don't fall into exhaustion.
Yeah. Let's head back to town, I guess. And...
How big is it's a big pedestal, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
large.
Dragoning's gonna attempt to climb on top of it.
Okay. You climb
See
on
if
top of
anything
it.
happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Brady, what are you doing?
Stand up. I kind of jump up and down on it to see if it moves or anything.
Yes. And as he jumps up and down on it, Marius and Seamus, you start to question if he's lost his sanity. Perhaps that wound went a little too hard to his head. As literally nothing happens.
You got hit awfully hard.
Get back down. Get back down.
Let's go back home. Rest for a while. And try to figure out what we do next.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're returning back to town?
Probably, yeah, to sleep if we're getting close to... If it's getting close to
Sleeping
exhaustion.
arrangements for the night.
Mary should probably go with Thaggy, you know.
How about
Yeah,
Seamus?
I mean, I'd go there too.
And what about Bragadine?
Bragadine, remembering how brave Theodore was,
Mm-hmm.
goes to his house, grabs Theodore, and we go to see if we can get a room or separate
Okay.
rooms at the Thaggy.
Okay. All right. And,
Not the Silk Canary, not to, you know...
A little slap and tickle.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know,
You going-
Theodore, you were so brave. I was going to think we would stay at the inn with Seamus and Marius, the dwarven ale, but
Oh, yeah. Yes,
you know what?
master.
I'm so proud of you.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to stay somewhere else tonight. You deserve a reward. We're going to see my good friend.
No,
So,
it was a joke.
Seamus, Marius, we will see you in the morning.
Wait,
Oh.
where are you taking the... Where are you taking the boy?
A proper gratitude. For Miss Montague, of course. Or not her specifically,
Bragadine.
for one of her late.
Bragadine, he is not old enough. Boy, come here.
Oh. Yeah. Yes, Master Wolf?
We'll stay at Thaggy tonight.
And he looks over at Bragadine, torn, indecisive.
You're not ready for what your master is trying to put on you.
Theodore, when you were leading the children to safety, did you happen to slay any of the rat men or the goblins? Did you prove yourself to be a man down there?
I killed a score, sir. I was bold like you.
Oh,
God damn it.
Intuition.
You don't even need to make a check.
Yeah,
You can see the dry piss stains down his trousers. There's no blood on his person. He's most certainly lying.
Theodore,
Yes,
you
sir.
will be staying at the Thaggy. You will be staying on the floor at my feet. I am disappointed in your dishonesty.
Oh, yes, sir.
The tables have turned.
I know.
As he lowers his head and begins to walk towards Marius back to the Thaggy.
Mary's kind of pat him on the back, you know. All right, lad.
Bragadine, do you stay at the Canary?
No, we go back to the Thaggy.
Okay, all right. All of you make it to the Thaggy. You secure rooms. Seamus, do you procure your private room with Miss Helga?
No, I mean, I imagine Seamus is so tired that he passes out at the bar.
Damn it!
Let's
Like
see.
eating, like in the middle.
Yeah,
of
make
eating
a
food.
check, bro.
I feel like we need to roll for this. I feel like we need to roll to see if a large woman brings you upstairs. I won't do it to you. I won't do it to you. It's fine.
Oh, Seamus, you need some. You look so frustrated. You need some relaxation.
And I'm assuming you guys drink, you eat,
Yeah,
you pass out, exhausted at this point. Everybody going
Make
to give
sure
me endurance
Theodore-
checks.
make sure Theodore eats. You know,
Yeah, of course, of course.
keep an eye on him if he's getting too close to Priscilla. You know,
He does. I will say, at some point, he does kind of walk up to Priscilla. I often patch up, my master's wounds. Perhaps I could help. Oh, that'd be real nice. They start having little young person talk, and he's getting a little close every once in a while.
No.
Can Braggadine see this?
Of course you can. Everyone.
Theodore,
He's not like this is a hidden thing.
Across the entire room. Theodore,
Oh,
we can kiss. Leave that young lady alone.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come over here so I may yell at you.
Of course, master. And he comes over there for his scolding, his verbal scolding, hopefully. But yeah, everyone give me endurance checks. This was for recovering wounds tonight.
Marius is full health, so.
Okay,
Seamus
Marius
full
is good.
health.
Seamus is good. Braggadine, I'm sure you need it.
I do need it, and I didn't pass it.
How bad was it?
So, I failed by endurance. Let me see what's that. 22, by 2 levels of failure.
Okay, you can still recover your toughness bonus in the wounds. You just won't.
1 level of failure. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You still recover your toughness bonus. You just don't get anything extra for the night.
Okay.
So with that, I will say this though: there's one additional scene we need to cover before anything else happens the next day. As Marius Wolf closes his eyes this night in complete exhaustion, they flicker open, Marius. And you're in the woods. You're covered in foul-smelling blood. You begin to sit up. Your body is younger, smaller. There's several corpses scattered around you. They look like foul, rotten beastmen. What do you do?
I guess I'm just kind of. Am I aware? Am I kind of like in the moment as this younger version, or am I aware of my previous?
You are
self
in the moment as this younger version, almost as if these memories are coming back.
Mm-hmm. Covered in blood, probably just like panicking, and kind of looking down. Kind of horrified and just kind of getting his surroundings and seeing what's going on around him.
And as you're looking around, you can hear screams and you smell burning coming back from the small village that your family's from.
And I, start reading, if I can, if I'm able.
Yes, you can. You can. And you are weak. But you managed to begin pushing through the woods, completely neglecting the task that was at hand in the face of all of the death and carnage. This putrid smell is almost intoxicating. It's making you wheezy. The stench that is just gathered around the nearby area. As you keep moving forward, I need you to give me an athletics check, which is basically just going to be an agility check. You only have 30 in this skill.
Okay,
so.
I'm about to ask. Okay. Ooh, 12 out of 30.
Okay. You almost trip once or twice, but you manage to keep your footing as you move forward. And you make it to the edge of the wood, and then you see the field. That is the nearby field that your father tends, that you tend. And you see that most of it has been burned. Looks like the fires are smoldering at this point. What damage has been done has been done. The screams that you're hearing are the death throes of your neighbors, your friends. And from the looks of it, from the pile of bodies outside of your house, your family, there's currently several creatures digging through the corpses, looking around. And as you look out, you see that they are around 9 to 10 feet tall, with a single eye in their forehead and a single horn. There's pus weeping from the eye. They have this comically distended gut on these 2 small legs as these plague bearers turn around, looking towards you, pointing accusingly at you. What do you do?
I'm assuming Marius is just in shock and horrified. Probably starts trying to run away as fast as he can through the woods.
You begin to run. Go ahead and give me one more athletics test. DC is still 30.
82 out of 30.
Okay. This is very fitting. As you turn to move, your foot catches on a root and you stumble face first into a puddle. Your head plunges through the puddle and then you pull back and you realize that's not water as you begin to scrub your face and it is coated in thick, viscous goo as there is a dead creature nearby, and this is its blood that is pooled into this literal pool in this cove of branches and roots. And you begin to vomit, and you can feel sickness beginning to overtake you, and you lose consciousness. But your eyes flicker open once again, and you feel heat radiating across your body as you're succumbing to plague, to death, to sickness. There's a large man standing over you, heavily tattooed. He looks to be at least 7 feet tall. He has a white cloak about his shoulders with a wolf's head dangling over the top. There's a huge axe in his hands. It looks like it's slick with green and black blood. And there's a woman standing there next to him. Old, wizened, hag-like. Her eyes are white and blind. Yes, he will be necessary. It will all come back. He's the key. We must find the others. He will come. Leave him. And the man nods his head. And they walk off. Within moments, Marius, or what seems like moments to you, you see men coming with carts. You have no idea how long you've been laying here. They each have beaked masks that you recognize as plague doctors. And they're going through your village, collecting corpses. And then you lose consciousness again, and you awake. In the current time, you all awaken in the morning.
Does Marius recognize that old hag as Mother Inga?
You might be able to deduce that.
Is the large man the man that he met in the forest with the cauldron?
You might be able to deduce that.
Marius kind of wakes up with a cold sweat. Must see her. And probably get ready and to see his friends and tell them of his dream and that he needs to go see Mother Inga.
Yeah, the three of you gather downstairs in the tap room, and I'm assuming you set out first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I would let him know what happened.
Okay. How do the two of you take this news that your friend is having visions?
Seamus is used to that.
Bragadine has no problem with it. He lives in his own world anyways.
That is slightly true. So, as the three of you set out, you make your way out of town, and town is still a mess. What were you going to say?
Mary's just going to tell Theodore not to leave the baggie, not to go back to Bragadine's house because it's got a giant hole to
That's true.
like a monster-filled underground.
Yes,
Yep,
of course.
that's why we didn't sleep there. Yep.
I'd much prefer to stay here, for being honest. And he will do so, as you guys set forth. The place is in, it's going to take a while for Sealberg to recover from what has happened. But no serious damage has been done, at least as far as you know. The death of Mr. Gold, however, who knows how far those threads will stretch. And of course, there is the ever-present notion of a witch hunter in your city. And all these thoughts cross the three of your minds as you pass into the wilderness looking for Mother Inga's hovel. I'm going to need intuition checks from the three of you.
Can I also make one to make sure we're not being followed? Ketch was very adamant about finding this place.
He was. Go ahead and give me a perception test.
All right.
Yeah. So the rest of you make intuition, though.
Perception. I rolled a 4 on perception.
Okay, I'll get to you in a second. So, Marius, intuition?
32 out of 47.
Good, good. And Bragadine, intuition?
47 out of 67.
Okay, all right. It's 2 levels of success. You guys begin walking into the woods. Mother Inga's hovel's never in a single place, or at least it not normally is. But all of you would notice that usually when you want to find it, you just find it. It happens relatively quickly, and that isn't happening. Now, Seamus, with your massive amounts of success here, you notice at some point that you pick up tracks out in the woods, and you guys have been out here for a few hours. And you begin to track Seamus because this is what you do. This is what you've learned to do over time. There are hoof prints of a horse. There are large paw prints of some four-legged beast. There are shod feet of probably someone in armor and many barefoot, all going in the same direction. As you follow and lead your companions into the woods, after another hour, deep into the dark forest at this point, you find a familiar sight. The tree-like doorway with the 2 beastmen skull heads that denote the entrance to Mother Inga's realm. However, the skulls are shattered into pieces. The doorway is there. You can see the hovel openly on the other side. Do you pass through the doorway?
Yeah, I would take out the Thunderer and walk in.
Marius, Bragadine, I'm assuming you are all doing the same?
Upon Seamus clearly arming himself, I'll draw my sword and follow him in.
Okay. Marius?
Yeah, and he kind of arm himself and start moving in.
Interesting thing here. Seamus is the first one through. You pass through the doorway. You don't feel that chill that you normally feel whenever you enter this realm. You look to your left. You see woods. You can see out. Look to your right, the same thing. Something's not right. You guys begin moving further in, and you can see that there is bodies laying about around the hovel. The hovel itself, it looks like it's been crushed in several places. There are scattered remnants of artifacts, and who knows what, bits and baubles all over the ground. Previously, there were 3 large mounds that I described every time you visited the hovel. These mounds are no longer mounds. Now you see what looks like giant creatures. They look to be made of stone. Golems, perhaps. Centuries for this wizened hag of the woods. They're all shattered and broken, all 3 of them. And they each looked like if they were standing, they'd be at least 16 to 7 feet tall and weighed several tons. There are corpses of fanatics littering the lawn in various states of decay and visceral death. You also see the man, the young boy that you saved long ago, that became a man that is now dead. Looks like his flesh has been boiled off. The only notable fact that you could even pick him out was the beard. Do you approach the entrance to the hovel?
Cautiously.
Yeah.
You approach, the door smashed in. The inside is plastered. As you walk through, you hear a sigh. You look to your left, and you see the young woman that you saved oh so long ago, with the now blank eyes, so similar to Mother Inga herself. She has what looks like some kind of bladed weapon that is pinning her to the wall of the hovel. She looks weak. But more concerning, as you look over towards the cauldron is boiling. And you see a hand and a foot sticking out of it. They look leathery and old, and you recognize the tattoos on the arm. The blue swirls, intricate and laced. What do you guys do?
Mary's is probably going to go over and try to check on the woman.
You move over to the woman. Does anyone approach the cauldron?
Yeah, Seamus goes to the cauldron.
You go to the cauldron. As Marius, you move over to the woman. Seamus, you approach the cauldron. And it's boiling. You glance over the side. The smell is horrible. And bobbing, not attached to its body, you see the dismembered head of Mother Inga boiling in her own cauldron. Marius, the woman begins to mumble. And then you hear something outside. You hear a twig snapping. It sounds inexplicably loud due to the silence in the area. What do you do?
quickly turn around.
I can
Kind of,
barely hear you right now. I don't know if that's just
Sorry.
me.
Marius will quickly turn around and kind of get to the edge of the house where he can see out to see if he can see anything coming.
You get to the edge of the house, and you see a man sitting on one of the destroyed golems. He's got something in his hand. He's twirling it back and forth. He looks over at you. Looks like he's probably about 70, 80 feet from you. Almost near the edge of the wood line. He's wearing dark leathers, covered in blood, and who knows what else. There are wrappings around his hands and his arms. His hair is black and slicked, with a pencil-like goatee and mustache. He looks over at you. It didn't work, Marius. It didn't work, Marius. And you see the fanatical, broken eyes of Mr. Catch as he's chuckling, looking towards the hovel at you as you peek around the edge.
Does Marius have a sea dragon cloak? Question mark.
He does not have yours. You do not have your sea dragon cloak.
Stolen. Marius will just... This is your handiwork, I assume?
The wench deserved it. Come on out, little mice. It's time to play.
I am sorry, Catch. And Marius is going to walk out.
What about Bragadine and Seamus?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Walk-
well, Dragon's gonna follow out.
Okay. The two of you begin to step out onto the porch. Catch stands up to his full height. He was relatively tall, and he's standing on top of this golem, this broken remnants of this machine, this protector. And he looks down at the three of you, and in the light, you see that his skin, Marius, looks slick and scaly. And then you notice that his eyes are slit like that of a reptile's. And his tongue flicks in and out of his mouth. It's all come to an end, Marius. It's all come to an end.
You should never run, Catch. You ran from your fate.
There's no running where you're going. The three of you hear a low growl from behind you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Rise of the Forsaken.
Oh.
Oh man,
You don't want the dog to get blasted. It's about to get blasted. We're about to use the scope.
Shoot him in the face. Oh, just...
So,
good. Can't believe he did it, I thought Mother Inga, smote that demon that one time.
who knows?
The demon.
I thought she was gonna fuck him up.
Who knows what else is going to happen? Who knows
That's
what
true.
is going to transpire?
Yep.
So, man, yeah, there's a lot of stuff happened this episode.
sure did.
A lot of revelations, a lot of flatulence, a lot of possibly inexcusable behavior was avoided. Thank God. Yes. So as usual, though, man, awesome game, guys. That was fun. I had fun. I hope you guys did. But let's do favorite moments like we've been doing for a little while now. We'll start with old Marius Wolf. Favorite moments for the night.
Ooh, I like the the touching moment between Marius and his family. Enjoyed that a lot. Also, the standoff with Mr. Gold was exciting. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. But yeah, probably the highlight, the touching moment with the family. Yeah.
Oh, it was touching. I'm sure it was touching that night too. But how about old the headsman? How about old Seamus McCready?
Oh, it's a toss-up between, Maris's loving embrace with his family. He finally was accepted by his daughter.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the fact that Braggadine spent like half a night at the sisters, and then 20 minutes later, he's knocked on his ass unconscious, and bleeding out of his ears.
Sometimes it happens. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey guys, I'm here to fight, and then quack.
Yep. I know. But yeah. So, how about a favorite moment, possibly, for Mr. Bonneau, for Braggadine?
So many, but it was the wonderful suggestion that Marius or Jumbo Smooth gave that we reward Theodore with his great behavior and just being able to play it up from there.
Yes.
It's probably best that we stopped, but yeah.
That we dialed it back in before some gross behavior took place.
Well, we're editing.
Marius wasn't going to let it happen. I just thought that's what Braggadine might do, I'll go with this canary.
It's true. It's awesome. I will say I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
So, yes. But
I'm disappointed I didn't convince Braggadine that he was not Braggadine, but
his name was Julius. I will say
that's Julius.
I was going to say that might be my favorure moment of the night was the Julius.
Yeah.
Julius scam. It's like, damn, it didn't quite work. It would have been awesome.
Well, you're not a noble,
Yeah, exactly.
I have to go clean the latrine.
You're a son of a butcher.
There's going to be far-reaching consequences for tonight's decisions that were made, as you guys are fully aware at this point. A lot of stuff is happening. As far as a viewer decision is concerned, I need to know how many more men Catch has got in the woods with him.
A bunch of dead men.
Yeah.
He could have a bunch of dead men. He could also have a bunch of very much living men. We will see how big of a fight this is going to be.
Yes.
This is going to be, I will say, this is definitely a boss fight. So, yeah. Boss fights getting later on here. Sorry, guys. It's going to happen. A lot of stuff happening.
A lot of boss fights lately, bro.
A lot of boss fights. Enjoy. Yeah, but, man, I am enjoying it, guys. Hope you guys are. Oh, man, it was awesome. So, as usual, I've been Jumbo Thick. Do make sure to leave me comments down in the comment section. Leave us comments, I should say, about the game and, of course, about the viewer decision. Go ahead and vote as soon as you can, because the earlier you get it in, the more likely we are to actually take it into effect when the next session turns out, because we do pre-record these, and we don't always wait till the last second to record them. So do make sure to get them in, guys. And, of course, like and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep this rolling. And, man, we love you. I have been Jumbo Thick. This has been the Unfortunate Fellowship and Rise of the Forsaken. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good day.